Hey everybody, welcome back. It's another Thursday morning, so we're here with another Jarvi vlog. I'm Zach. Oop. Looks like Bill and Allie aren't here. That's okay, I can get started with you. I've missed a few.
Hey.
Oh, hey guys.
Hey, Zach.
Hey.
Look what we found.
Oh man, it's been a while since we've all been together.
Yeah, finally got the band back together.
Yeah, right? Rock and roll, man.
Yeah, bend don't break, right?
So I actually have a legitimate excuse for where I've been for the past couple of weeks. I did take a little vacation, but I also went to the American Staffing Association conference in Washington, D.C. And we haven't got a chance to talk about it yet, so I'm going to share with you a few of the things that I've learned from the conference that to me are the top 3 things to take away. And what we should be focusing on in staffing this year, and if you're in the staffing world, what you should be focusing on for 2019.
Yep.
One of the biggest things I heard from people looking through the job search process was the need for a personalized process. They want more personalization throughout the process. A lot of people are feeling like their applications aren't being seen, that their applications are going into a black hole, that they're not being recognized as a valuable asset to whatever company they're applying for. What do you think about that?
Well, I think there's definitely some truth to that because, especially if candidates are dealing directly with the recruiting person at a particular company. And a larger company, that person is, they're inundated with hundreds of resumes.
Hundreds, absolutely.
And so, yeah, I definitely think that those resumes at times, when somebody applies, they go into the applicant tracking, otherwise known as the ATS.
Yep.
And those resumes kind of sitting there. And lots of times then what'll happen is the recruiter will just search, and they'll search keywords, and those top 10 resumes come to the top.
And it was the number one concern was the digitalization. I'm using too big of a word today.
He's been gone too long.
Right? The digitalized process that most companies are taking through the hiring process. So there was the transition away from paper application to digital, and now resume parsing technology. That was like the number one concern of everyone.
I can see that.
One of the other things that I heard about was the speed of time it takes from when you apply to when you're hired. Especially when you're working with a staffing company, I think there is the expectation that you're going to be hired a little bit more quickly than if you apply directly to a company, because there's a whole team of people working on something for you, right? Allie, what are some things you're seeing that people are doing to either speed up the process, or are there any technology things out there you're seeing that kind of help people get through the process a little bit faster?
Yeah, so a lot of what we're seeing is maybe staffing companies with their own job board. So you can apply directly online through their website, and it's going through there. You can apply on Facebook. Facebook has jobs, Google Hire, Google Jobs. All of that's automating it and making it so much faster, so that your resumes are being seen faster, or your applications are being seen faster by the recruiters or a recruiter who's looking at them. So that's a lot of what we've been seeing. Yeah.
And you mentioned like Google Jobs, Facebook Jobs is a new thing out there. That was actually one of the other 3 things that I heard about, was that people want to know that they don't have to go through a ton of hoops to apply. Not only do they want speed from when they apply to being placed in the job, but you've already created a resume. Your resume probably lives on LinkedIn, or you probably have it on your phone somewhere. We're hearing from you that you want companies to adapt to that process. So, Bill, are you receiving applications through Facebook or LinkedIn, or are you seeing people apply that way?
I am. I see a lot of people apply through, LinkedIn. If we have a job posted on LinkedIn, it's easy for them to go and just hit apply, and then I'll get an update that somebody applied, and I can go and review their information. Kind of the same thing with Facebook. We do post some jobs. We're just starting to really get into it. It's kind of a new process for us, but we're really excited about it. But yeah, that's another area where people can go through and apply.
Yeah. Allie, you've posted a lot of jobs using Facebook Jobs. Do you have any tips or key takeaways that you're seeing in your experience of going through that?
Yeah, so a lot of what I'm seeing is the picture makes a big difference. If the picture is not engaging or kind of shows what the job title is and it doesn't really match, there's a disconnect there, people aren't going to apply to it. And if the job description itself is not engaging and kind of lets me know exactly what I'm getting into, if I click apply, then people also are not going to apply. So making sure that the job title, the job image, and the job description all kind of line up with each other and match will entice more people to apply through Facebook.
Absolutely. And we're getting a lot of good results in Facebook jobs, Google for Hire, or Hire by Google. We're seeing a lot of good work there. So definitely be in those spaces. If you're not in those spaces and need some help, just reach out to us. We're happy to send you a few tips here and there about what we're learning. Bill, anything else?
You know, it's definitely a changing world. I remember when we used to do applications. Let alone doing them on paper. Having that information accessible on your mobile device, on your phone, because you never know when you're going to have a conversation with somebody.
No, it's true.
Or you're going to see something. Somebody says, "Well, send me your resume." And how impressive is it when you can say, "Well, let me send it to you right now." Boom, boom, boom.
Done.
And it's sent.
Yeah.
And then that conversation doesn't necessarily have to stop. It can continue right then. And because, we've all had those conversations, well, let's get in touch next week. Well, next week never happens. And so if you can continue the conversation now, then that's definitely a benefit for you as a candidate.
Yep. We live in an on-demand world. We're trying to make ourselves more on-demand for you, so we can all be on demand together. Create demand. I don't know where that goes, but we're trying to make ourselves more accessible to you. We're sitting outside a client's office right now, waiting to go in. So we had just enough time. It is probably about time. Thanks for joining us today. We'll be here next week.
Thanks.
See ya.
Bye.